This is OSG's 1979 Napoleon at Leipzig. It's a 34-year-old game. And we just set up a little bit, just 2-3 cores, just so we could compare and show you the difference between the old game and our 2013 edition. So we have the second core. You see we have the 4th Division. We have the 6th Division with 9 strength points there, and we have the artillery and the 5th Division, and we have this unit, which we found out didn't even have enough strength to count. So we eliminated that. Then you see the poles lined up along the river there, and they have to defend against that Austrian army. And just the 4th Corps. There's many other corps set up. This is the October 16th setup. We just picked a few just to show. And the rest of the 8th Corps coming on up here.
Now we got some reinforcements coming on over there.
Right there. So then, this is the same units in the current game.
And now we're switching over to the new version.
Now we're switching over to the new version. You see now the 6th Division. Now we know exactly where those brigades were. So the setup is actually quite different. We have Royce's brigade in Wachau now. We have more Polish troops down here. One of the infantry brigades that we had in that setup up in the north, we found out was actually down here. So the strength is different. We have researched each unit to show what the composition was, rebuilt veteran regiments. We reduced Royce's brigade because it suffered heavily at Kulm, so it lost 2 strength points. Valery, Bronikowski, they each gained. The artillery, we created a new artillery unit for that corps, but again Bruno's light cavalry was deleted, and that's the 2nd Corps. The 4th Corps up here, we found out it's actually further north than it was in the setup on the 16th. When we did the original game, the sources that we had available, the main map that we used was the Esposito and Elting Napoleonic Atlas. So for instance, when you look at Leipzig, this is the actual layout of the town from 1810 from a map that we found online. And you see that there's still gardens. You can see there's little settlements, little suburbs starting to spring up outside. There's a sand pit where they actually got that for their building materials. If you look at the original game, you see, which was the best we could get at that point, must have been based on a later map from Esposito and Elting. It shows the city being all filled in there.
So that's one of the wonderful things of the new edition, is you're using current information,
right?
Online resources, and a lot of information that you just didn't have readily available when the first edition came out, and that honestly was probably not even written about yet.
Right.
And let's give a little peek at these counters here too, just to show some of the details that, again, with the advance of graphics, you can definitely see the differences.
Right. Also, one thing many people had been interested in was this corps, which didn't come in to the battle. It was left in Dresden, the 14th Corps. But we allow for this corps to arrive through the play of cards. If you play the alternate reinforcement card, you can get that corps.
So, using these cards here?
Yes, for instance, here is the alternate reinforcement card. So you receive one group in the order listed, and that's in the scenario information. So you can play this card, although it can be delayed. There's a delay card that the opposing player can play.
Sure.
Now, one of the really fascinating things about that I discovered in researching was the fact that the army parks belonging to the French army were not here.
Wow.
They got close, but they got turned back when they were somewhere on this road here, somewhere right around in here. They got turned around by some Cossacks that came, and they had just Bavarian escort, and so they left. And so in that train was all the bridging trains. Remember, they have to retreat. All of Napoleon's gold, okay? So that gold went to Torgau and spent the rest of it. So Napoleon now doesn't have the money to even feed his army.
Right.
So think about that. Okay, he doesn't have the bridges. He doesn't have the bridge trains. So he's only got that one bridge to retreat across. So he knows he's going to lose most of his army now. Knows that.
And
So that may have been the reason why he decided to fight a battle of attrition here.
Wow.
Okay.
And through those cards, it could be possible that that Cossack action might have not happened.
Right.
And then what would he have done if he had those bridges?
Then you can build a bridge. You can build another bridge through here somewhere. You get 5 pontoon counters, so you can definitely build another extra bridge.
Nice.
And that'll give you the chance to get away.
And the pontoon counters are
Let's see what they look like. Right here. These are the Allied ones, but French ones.
And the French ones are
Yeah, there.
here, right there. Okay, good.
Right, so